Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, we had Frank Gorshin. Frank!
Yeah!
Gorshin, the king, and Definitely about war. War and destruction and why things are bad. It was great, though. It was actually a really good Season 3 episode. So, today we're watching an episode called The Mark of Gideon.
The Mark of Gideon.
Mark of Gideon. So yeah, we're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch The Mark of Gideon. Not the greatest thing ever, but still an actually surprisingly solid entry in Season 3. Yeah, still not the greatest thing ever. There are some weird implications in it, and I don't know. Overall, it is a bit slow, I think. I think the first half of the episode is a bit circular.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it takes the episode a while to get the audience to what the actual mystery is.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, does it? Because like the mystery happens in like the first like 2 minutes. Kirk is beamed down and then he's not. And then he's on like, another version of the Enterprise where nobody's there. And meanwhile, we're introduced to the idea that Spock and McCoy and Uhura and everyone, they're trying to figure out what happened to Kirk. And they're talking to the people on Gideon. And that happens for like 20-25 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Like, until one of them figures out, one half of that like group figures out like what's going on. That's it. And it really just kind of drags at the start for me. That said, though, I dug the concept. I thought it was cool. I love what the episode is kind of saying, like as a whole, message-wise. Like overpopulation is a serious issue,
right? Like social issue of the episode, overpopulation.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It does get into a little bit of like the first thing Kirk suggests is like sterilization and things like that. I'm like, hey, you're treading on some tricky waters there, Kirk.
It's a bit extreme, but I guess when the planet's so overpopulated, it's kind of a population whatever situation.
Yeah. It's weird. But also again, like I like what it's saying. Like there's a serious issue there that I mean it's got the episode kind of has like a pro-choice message in that like it's saying that like our planet is so pro-life that we have never stopped giving birth, and it caused us to find ways to extend our lives and regenerate ourselves, and so we haven't died and we just kept having kids, and now we're here.
And Kirk's like, well, what if we introduce contraceptives, essentially?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, my population just won't take it.
Yeah. So it does have that nice message like going forward in that like, it's saying that like so one guy on the planet has realized, holy shit, this is terrible.
We have a very serious problem on our hands.
Yeah. And
so I've come to the obvious conclusion.
That we have to build a replica of the Enterprise.
And take up even more precious space.
Right? Like how far this dude goes to get Kirk in this situation. Because his whole grand plan is he's going to like stick Kirk in this fake Enterprise where he's alone and nothing works. And he's going to be alone with this one girl that's the head guy on the Gideon Council's daughter. Her name is O'Donna. And they're just going to be there for so long that they're going to fall in love. And Kirk is going to...
And then the real plan's revealed.
Yeah. And before I actually get into that, what is the connection here between Kirk and O'Donna? They're not together for that long, realistically.
They're two generally attractive people.
And they're just alone on a ship. And like, even like the scene leading up to like where they first kiss is really awkward. And like, they're not like romantically talking to one another.
And if anything, Kirk is just really trying to pry out of her and try to like get their location.
Mm-hmm. And also like something that I hadn't considered as the scene was going on is that like because he keeps saying like, oh, you're from Gideon. She's like, I don't know what Gideon is. What are you talking about? And like and he keeps like trying to like say that she is because it's the only possible conclusion because it is.
Right.
But I actually hadn't considered like up to that point of the episode because the actress playing her is like really convincing at it that she is just straight up lying to him. Like she knows exactly what's going on there. But yeah, so that all happens. But like the grand plan seems to be that then O'Donna's gonna be sick, and Kirk is gonna watch her die, and that's going to cause Kirk to preach the good word to the people of Gideon.
Dying.
Yeah, which like I feel like you can do without murdering your daughter, right? Like I think you could accomplish
like,
that.
My brain initially was like, oh, So what he wants to do is he wants to introduce a bioweapon onto his own planet.
Yeah.
But that's not the plan.
No. It's just to have Kirk be like, hey, this person died. How about you?
I could infect you all one by one, like, and you'll die.
It's a really weird plan, really stupid, really convoluted, and if it weren't for the fact that like the episode was saying like something like actually genuinely important, I think I would hate that a lot more than I actually do.
Right, because the council guy, the high council guy, has a very serious and morally interesting point.
Yeah.
We just keep having kids. We only die when we reach old.
Yeah.
Which just keeps getting older.
Yeah.
And
because we value life so much, you know? Yeah.
And we have apparently one of the best health cares ever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's weird.
So it's like we can't die.
Yeah.
And we just all keep having kids.
Yeah. It's a cool idea. It really is. And I really dug that. Thought that was cool. Leonard Nimoy has a lot of cool moments throughout this episode too. I can't remember the exact line, but there's a line when he's like telling Sulu to start like scanning for like, you know, where we can find Kirk, and Sulu's like, well, that could take years, and Spock is like, well, we should probably begin, shouldn't you?
Yes.
Also.
Oh yeah,
I have in my fucking notes here. So Spock eventually figures out that there's a difference in the coordinates from where they sent the dude that got up there from Gideon and where they sent Kirk from originally. So Spock goes down to where they sent Kirk originally, which is the fake Enterprise, and so he contacts the bridge and
from the fake bridge.
Yeah, and he goes to Scotty. He goes to Scotty. Scotty's like, "Where are you?" Spock's like, "I'm on the bridge of the Enterprise," and James Doohan just looks up. Terrified. I have headcanoned so hard. Headcanoned, if they didn't lean into it so much in the show, that Scotty is just the biggest fucking idiot ever. And I love that. I love that for him so much.
Like, he legitimately looked over, like, where is he?
I fucking love him. I love him so much.
And his next line was immediately, I gave you the right coordinates, sir. And Spock's like
that image of James Doohan's face will live in my brain forever. Of just when he just looks up like, oh god.
Like, oh no, I sent the captain and I sent Spock to the wrong space.
I love it. Oh my god, he's the biggest fucking idiot. I love him. Oh my god.
I can't decide if he's leaning into Scotty's not the brightest person, or
if that's just the way the writing is telling him to play it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know which way it's going.
Probably a bit of both. I don't know. We've had a fair few dumb Scotty moments, like plot-wise, but also just James Doohan just, I feel like, really totally plays into it. It's really fun.
If it's not explicitly in the direction of, you know, his scenes, he's probably reading into it.
Yeah. Alright, so that was The Mark of Gideon. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
It was alright.
Yeah, a couple... It's slow, it's a little convoluted, and there are some weird messages in there, snuck in there, but just, at the end of the day, I think it's pretty solid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I dug it. Yeah. Yeah, alright, I guess that does it. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to join us next week when we continue Star Trek The Original Series. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.